Hi, and thank you for clicking this video. I want to start off by saying thank you so much for the support in my last video. I know the enthusiasm wasn't there, but it was my first time making videos, so the nerves were there. And now that the nerves are out the way, I can at least show more like expression. So in this video, I wanted to talk about why I wanted to learn about money and start to invest. So growing up, I always saw people who were wealthy, traveling, and buying Lamborghinis like this one. And let's forget about the people who were handed their money through inheritance, but those who had to build businesses and weren't born wealthy and eventually got there. I saw that as inspiration, that if they can do it, I can too. One characteristic that I saw that many of these wealthy people share is that they are good with money, or in other words, they are financially literate. So when you want to learn something new, where do you usually go? I headed to where most people went, YouTube, and I started searching about videos of financial literacy and anything to do in becoming wealthy. I came across various videos, some useful and some not so useful, but many of them spoke on how they learned how to read and learned how to learn, if that makes sense. And I'm sure many of you have came across this certain video.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
And as cringy and annoying that video can be, there is still some underlying truth in it. So many of these videos that recommended to learn financial literacy through books recommended this one book. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Reading through the first few chapters, I was astonished by how wrong our society is teaching us about financial literacy and money. So many of us are taught that our first investments are going to be either a home or a car. And many of us don't know that that's not the case. But I will say that a home can be an investment if you do it properly. But more on that later. Why is a car not an investment, you may ask? And the reason being is because it takes money out of your pocket. Whatever you do, that car is going to need maintenance and it's going to take money out of your pocket. And in a house or home, there is still maintenance you need to do depending on how old the home is in order for it to be livable. But that is still a liability because it is taking money out of your pocket and not returning any money towards you. Now I'm going to be explaining how a home can become a money-producing investment for you. So pretty much living in a home that you buy for yourself is always going to be a liability. But let's say you bought the home, now you're looking for tenants to lease or rent. Now you're not living in it and those tenants are paying you to live there. It's your property, but they are living there and paying you money. Now, instead of that home being a liability, it turns into an asset. And all an asset means is that you have something that's valuable that can be turned into money or has just value in general that doesn't take money out of your pocket. For example, the assets that I own are just ETFs and stocks. And yes, I do have to spend my own money to acquire these assets, but each year they're giving me a return of the money I invested. When I was taking my investing course, my instructor said this one thing that stuck with me forever. And that is wealth comes from assets producing enough income or money to maintain and support the lifestyle you are living. Because in reality, how much money is enough for us? 100,000, a million, 5 million, a billion, a trillion. We as humans are always going to want more and it won't ever be enough for us. But what we got to realize is that if we're well off, that we don't need a job and our assets are producing that money, for us to not be able to work a job, then by definition, we are wealthy. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you so much for watching through the end of this video. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any content I'm putting out. Thank you and have a good rest of your day or night or whatever time it is.
Knowledge.